What's up, everyone? Episode 47 of Putting You in Your Place today. We've got Blake Fletcher in the studio with us, talking about his startup, Energy Check.
Yes, sir.
That's right. Well, hey, man, thanks for being here. Interested to chat with you. Really interested in kind of how we can collaborate. Seeing that I'm a real estate agent, you're a guy that could help people get their property in the best energy shape possible. So I'm really interested in our conversation. And we were talking off air that you got this New River Valley love story. So I want to talk to you about how you came to be in the New River Valley and everything like that. So I guess let's just get started with who you are. Let's introduce you to my audience here.
Got you. My name's Blake Fletcher. I'm 34 years old. Born and raised in North Georgia. I was on the road up here climbing cell phone towers working, and ended up meeting my wife now. So when the cell phone tower industry, kind of slowed down up here, it was either move back home to Georgia or get married and move up here. So
Gotcha.
I went and got my stuff and moved up here and got married, and we got 2 sons and coach baseball around here. And
Gotcha. How old are your kids?
15 and 9.
Okay. So
Yeah.
they're getting school age. One of them's going to be done with high school here soon.
Yeah,
Or are they going
freshman
into?
at Christiansburg.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you live in Christiansburg?
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. And your wife, she's a Christiansburg native?
Roanoke.
Roanoke native.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. All right.
She works out at Carilion at the hospital.
Right on. Well, we love transplants. we love people identifying the New River Valley as a place that they'd like to raise their family and be a part of the community. So
Yeah, funny story. When I was growing up, my grandparents, my grandmother's brother lives in Blacksburg. So every summer growing up, I'd come up here for a week. And it's just, small world, 20 years later, here I am living here.
Awesome. Well, that's awesome. Well, let's talk about your business.
Okay.
Tell us about your evolution of like what your background is and what you're trying to accomplish with this energy thing. Tell us exactly what you're trying to do for people.
Okay. We do energy audits. We go in and I analyze your house from the crawl space to the roof. I do combustion analysis test. I do blower door test, duct leakage test. I check to see how much insulation you have, how leaky your house is. And then I go back to the office and I put together, a full report for you and with our prioritized recommendations on what you could do to make your house more energy efficient. When we get the homeowners on board and we do everything right, we're looking at 20 to 30%, decrease in your energy bill a month, and that's pretty significant.
No doubt. So take me through, like maybe your last job, like take me through, the process of showing up. How long does it take? What's a typical, like when somebody needs are you actually in the home doing the work? Or are you just like saying, hey, this is what needs to be done, and they go hire other people to do the work? How does that work?
We do it all. I usually go in and do the test. I'm usually there 3 to 5 hours. I spend an hour or 2 in your crawl space, an hour or 2 in your living space, and I spend an hour or 2 in your attic. Analyzing and dissecting everything about your house, your heating and air unit, everything. And then I go back and I put together an estimate, and I actually have 2 or 3 guys that work in the field for me, and I put together a prioritized recommendations of, hey, this is what you could do, and I kind of make it the cost effective, prioritize everything, and then I have guys that go out in the field and they take care of it.
Okay, so you're the face of it. You're going to show up. You're going to be the guy that's giving them you're consulting them on like what needs to be done. They sign the contract. Your crew comes in there and they get the job done, and then boom, you're off to the next stop.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha.
Them guys in the field is what makes me look good.
No doubt.
They do real good
Hey,
work.
it's about the team, man. If I didn't have this team, definitely the people that you partner up with makes all the difference.
Yes, sir.
That's for sure.
For sure.
Cool. All right, so I'm wondering how me and you can work together. I'm like, me as a real estate agent, me going into a house, how can me and you collaborate? Like, what value could I have for you, and what can I say to a client that might have a home that's built in 1960, and how do I get you in the door? Like,
that's the biggest thing is a client education. 15, 20 years ago, energy efficiency wasn't in nobody's mind, no builder's mind, no homeowner's mind.
Right.
And the last 10 years, it's really starting to become a big deal where they're actually putting it into the code. The building code. New houses have to be energy efficient to some degree. But yeah, getting the client education. I mean, people with, they got the mindset of, I've been in this house 20 years and I'm just fine. They don't realize what we can do and how much of a difference we can make. And getting that word out there, word of mouth, really is about the only way to do it. But
right. What's kind of the number one thing you're seeing? I mean, what are you advising most people to do right now when you go into homes? When you walk into an average Christiansburg home that's 25 years old, what are you seeing that people need to be more aware about?
It's 100% insulation and air leakage.
Yeah.
Your plumbing penetrations, going up to the attic, to the crawl space, your electrical penetrations, and you think a quarter size hole, that's not that much, but when you take them all combined, and it is, in the wintertime you have people saying they feel their house a little drafty. Well, that's really not drafts, that's the air leakage coming into your house, and then the insulation. I mean, back 10 years ago, insulation, yeah, you did get insulation, but it wasn't efficient. It wasn't, up to par to what you need to have in your house.
Yeah. So does insulation have a turn, like a roof? Like, you get 30 years out of a roof. I mean, does insulation, I know sometimes, insulation can be disturbed by rodents or like it can deteriorate over time with moisture and stuff like that.
Yes, sir.
But does it have a natural life and it needs to be replaced at some point?
No, not if it's done right. And like you just mentioned, the moisture. If your humidity's right and you're not having moisture in there and it's not being disturbed by anything, then it should last you a lifetime.
Gotcha.
But just like you said, you bring in moisture and humidity and rodents and people climbing around in your attic doing work and messing with it, then it will deteriorate. You need to do something about it. But
gotcha.
as long as it's done well and it's sealed properly, then you shouldn't have any problems.
So that's a monitoring situation, and a homeowner just needs to be, willing to either have a guy like you come over to evaluate or get in there and crawl around and make sure right. Things are being not being disturbed.
Yeah, and we do a lot of preventive maintenance. When we do an audit with people and we do retrofits, we'll have a preventive maintenance agreement where we come back, twice a year, once a year, and inspect your crawl space, inspect your attic. Because, like you said, there's not too many people climbing up in their attics inspecting it,
Yeah, and I think that's tell me if I'm wrong. I think a pest person probably would want to say yes, but the mice and the snakes and the things that crawl in your house that you don't even know about are probably the number one culprit of that old, unless it's like spraying insulation, that stuff that you get, you just slap up and the
fiberglass bats.
Yeah, that's the one that gets disturbed the most by rodents, right?
Yes, sir.
So like if you're not paying attention, if you're not looking for that constant preventative maintenance, I think you said,
yes,
then you're going to be in danger of energy like leaking out of your house.
Exactly, and not only inspecting it, but knowing what you're inspecting. Just because you're climbing around your attic, don't mean you know what you're looking for.
That's true. That professional eye is key.
Yes, sir.
That professional eye is key, no doubt. Like in these old homes, percentage-wise, well, I guess, we've just identified it. It depends on the quality of work that's been done. It depends on if they're paying attention or not.
Exactly.
It depends on a lot of things. But, I just want to lean on, like, your thing. Like, how many people are actually paying attention? How many people are paying attention?
That's our biggest challenge is, people, they're not mindful enough to know what we're doing and what we have to offer, and they just take the home as is for face value.
Yeah.
They don't realize that, I could come in and air seal your house and re-insulate your house and save you 20 or 30% on your power bill, and your indoor air quality is going to be substantially better. That's another big thing we do is indoor air quality. A lot of people don't realize what a difference they can make.
That's huge, I think. I think we hit a really nice spot there. I think that hopefully people will see value, and then, where we can partner up. Like I said, I'm trying to figure out a way. Like, do I bring this up during the listing agreement or a listing presentation? Like, hey, what do you need to step in the door? Like, do you have
I know you do real estate,
Yeah.
and I know that a lot of times you have to have the house inspected by a home inspector before.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly what I do, a home inspection, but I come in with equipment and do a very thorough inspection. I'm not just doing a visual.
Gotcha.
I'm actually putting science behind my report and science behind everything I come
Yeah.
up with. So it ain't just me telling you. I've got the formula and the science to prove to you what's going on and what direction to take to make it better.
What's your fee on a typical 2,500? I mean, a typical Christiansburg house around here. What do you need to come and give the homeowner a consultation on what they need? Is there a fee for that?
Yeah, we have a set fee, a fixed fee. It's $500 for me to come in and do the audit. And like I said, I'm there 3 to 5 hours. And like I give you prioritized recommendations. And if you decide, you don't have to go with us.
Yeah.
I can give you the recommendations, and you can say, well, I have so-and-so that he'll come in and do it, and that's fine. But if you decide that you want to go with us and let us do the work, then we knock $250 off that audit. So we'll take $250 off your estimate, so it knocks it down to $250.
Gotcha.
And that's a pretty good,
That's a good deal.
Yeah.
I mean, for you to get in there and give them your professional advice, I think that's worth it. But then getting the work on top of that, giving them the discount, I think would be great. I'm trying, like I said, I'm still trying to search on like how we can collaborate and get you in the door for more of this stuff. We'll have to think about that off air. But that's very interesting because that has to be a benefit if someone has gone through that, to be able to use that as a marketing tactic to say this home has been handled by Energy Check. It's been adjusted by Energy Check. Exactly. It is as energy efficient now as it's ever been. Like,
it'd
we
be a
use
good
that.
tool. Yeah, to buying or selling a house, I think that would be very beneficial.
Yeah.
And I know that like the energy efficient thing hasn't been out there long enough, like we talked about, and word of mouth. But if you look at our reviews, there's nobody that's ever did any energy check work that they said, man, I wish I wouldn't have did that. They ramp and rave that it was the best thing they've did.
Great segue into your marketing and media strategy. We were talking off air that you kind of disconnected from Facebook. You couldn't handle the darkness of social media.
Yes, sir.
And there's certainly darkness of social media. And, as an entrepreneur and a sales guy, that we both are, like, it's so hard. But mentally, sometimes you need to unplug. So I get it.
For sure.
But I would definitely encourage you, as you're trying to grow your business, you got to be out there. You being a name and a face to this thing is going to help you with that word of mouth and that social media spread that you need to get people aware, because there's not awareness around what you're doing.
Oh, no, sir.
So
that's our biggest challenge.
Like, you're 3 or 4 steps ahead, and you can only be 1 step ahead. So you're ahead of the game where people don't realize you offer a service they need, and you need to take advantage of all these social media platforms to get you out there. As much as I know this will probably pain you, and I speak about this on every show. You really need to be on TikTok, and you can't even do Facebook. And now I'm telling you to do TikTok. I know that's an emotional thing for a lot of people, but anybody in a service industry business that doesn't have some sort of platform or are trying to figure out TikTok is missing the boat, brother.
Right.
They're missing the boat. So what you would be able to do even outside the New River Valley, if you got attention around what you're trying to do, as far as the startup business goes, a franchise model that could go nationwide if you develop the brand of Energy Check service. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right
this
now,
could be bigger than the New River Valley.
That's the mission. That'd be great.
So I would encourage you to maintain a relationship with us. Watch what we're doing. Try to replicate what these guys are helping me do.
Gotcha.
And really, like I said with the New River engraving guys, I wanted them to create the Engraving Kings show and do something around that. You need to have something that you could sell off one day, something that you could have a TV show about one day. You know, I just think that all of that's possible.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good mission to have. So like I'm new to the whole industry. You know, like I said, I just finished my training in October.
Yeah.
So yeah, all them things is definitely on the horizon. I would love to go in that and go that route.
Tell me about the training. Tell me about what you had to go through, and like this energy check. Like, how'd you come up with the name? Like, is this maybe you bought into something? You know, I'm just not familiar with the history of it. So just take us through
Energy
that.
Check got started by Ed Tuckler.
Okay.
And Ed Tuckler is he's the owner of Shelter Alternatives, and they've been around since the 80s.
Okay, so he did exactly what I'm talking about,
Yes,
like
sir.
that you bought into.
Yes, sir.
You've bought into that franchise or whatever it is.
That's right. I'm just the director of Energy Check.
Gotcha.
Lead auditor and director.
Is that a New River Valley based company or?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We're part of the NRV Home Builders Association.
Okay.
And like I said, Ed has Shelter Alternatives, and they design and build houses energy efficient. They've always designed energy efficient homes, but then he decided that he wanted a sister company that's just focused on, you know, just energy efficiency, where we're going around and, you know, one house at a time, making it a better place.
Gotcha.
Going, making one house at a time more energy efficient and better for the homeowner.
Sweet. All right. Well, I mean, he's trying to execute that. He's got you to kind of take it to the next level,
That's
possibly.
Right. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he's pretty much, you know, gave me the reins, and to you know, that's what when we talked about it, he's like, you know, the entrepreneur, and like I need you to really, you know, see the bigger picture.
Yeah.
You know?
So he pretty much has lined himself up as the investor and put you in the operator
Yes, sir.
aspect of it all.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. Well, that's a great story, man.
Man, it's awesome.
And if you can utilize everything that we have, that's free. You know, like
exactly.
all this stuff's free. You know,
that's great.
Like you do at some point pay to play, but like TikTok, you know, TikTok legitimately could get you guys 1 million views. I mean,
I bet.
Yeah, I mean, if you utilize that and like you hit something, you know, I keep referring back to this brick paver that's being pressure washed that got like 1.5 million likes. I mean, not views. They actually liked the video. Like this brick paver on a 15-second video with a trendy piece of music behind it got that amount of views and that amount of likes. That's wild.
Yeah, that is crazy.
That's an opportunity to change your life,
For
you know,
sure.
when you get that type stuff. So
Yeah, because right now, I mean, the only marketing we have is, you know, I do code tests for builders around here and code officials, and then it's just word of mouth.
yeah,
And like our sister company, Shelter, you know, we get a lot of clients through Shelter, and they I mean, our reputation, you know, speaks for itself.
yeah. I mean, hey, I love word of mouth. Word of mouth is as deep as it gets because someone liked your service or cared enough about you to recommend them to the friend. But at the same time,
Yeah, times are changing.
hey, look, there's nothing better than good advertising.
Oh, for sure.
You know, like you can go so much wider. You know, your scope opens way up. You're at like 500 yards instead of at 50 feet.
Oh, for sure.
You know, when you get good advertising
Yeah, I
together.
can't imagine what kind of doors would open up if we, you know, got our marketing right and got on the social media platforms.
So like I said, the relationship with us, just trying to copy what we're doing or use us to, you know, give advice or, you know, be valuable to you guys. Like that's really what the show's about, you know, like it's becoming a library full of people like yourself that want awareness around what you're offering. And then also, you know, it's just a good example of what people should be doing, I think.
For sure.
You know.
Yeah, I'll definitely use you as a resource. You know, I'm you know, glad you have us. Thankful for the opportunity.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
good
Share this video.
Yeah.
Man. So hey, like let's let you kind of spur a conversation here. Like, what do people need to know? Just try to help us know what they need to be looking for and you know where to find you currently. I know you have a Facebook page, but you know, like where can people find you outside of here? Like when we end this show and we do like a website or something, like we want the ability for them to come and look at what you have to offer. So how can we find you?
Yeah, you can find us online at wecheckenergy.com. You can call us at the office. All of our information. You know, we have a list of our mission and everything about us right there on the website, and everything that we offer. So the biggest thing is our website, WeCheckEnergy.com. We're in the works of getting on Instagram, and our Facebook page is a little behind, but we're updating it as we speak.
Yeah.
Diana's working on that. So yeah, we're working on getting on the social media platforms, but at the moment it's just like I said, word of mouth on our website.
Yeah. WeCheckEnergy.com.
WeCheckEnergy.com, yes, sir.
Not bad.
And you can catch me on my. You can email me anytime you want to at BlakeF@WeCheckEnergy.com.
All right, cool.
And then, like I said, our office phone is right there on the front part of the website. You can call me at the office, send me an email, and there's actually a way to contact us straight from the website.
Yeah. And you're serving the greater New River Valley, right?
Oh yes, sir.
Roanoke.
Yeah, I go to Hardy.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right, perfect.
I usually try to stay within 2 hours from home, but
yeah.
I mean, if somebody called, just because that's about as far as the word of mouth has went.
Sure.
But, yeah, I mean, I would go. I'd go wherever.
Right on. I'm all about that too.
I'm doing a job in Lynchburg right now. I mean, that's a
Nice.
pretty good stretch from here to Lynchburg.
No doubt. That's what is that, a 4.5 hour round?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And it's for cardiologists, and he said, just our reputation. He said, I don't care what it costs. I want you doing the job. So
that's awesome.
We've been having to make that track, once a week to go up there doing some air sealing and adding some insulation for him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's a show. I think we got good content. We got a good story. We got all the information out, about you guys. Any questions?
Well, I would like to say, too, for any builders out there, if there's any builders watching this, we also offer code testing, which is like the blower door test and the duct leakage test, and it's required in the Virginia code now that you have to have that done before you can get your, certificate of occupancy for a house.
Okay.
So anybody need any builders will need any code testing, or homeowners need any audits, just please give us a call.
Hey, Eagle Construction. We'll call out Eagle Construction and States and Homes. We got a guy here
we got States and Homes.
There you go.
Yeah, I got a contract with States and Homes.
Yep.
I do all their tests.
Good.
Yep.
So now Eagle's the new guy in town.
Okay.
We'll try to connect you with Brian over on at Eagle and see if we can't get you a contract over there.
That'd be great.
And
thank you.
Yeah, man.
And whatever I can do to help you.
Yeah. Hey,
man.
just take this as a consultation from me to you, and just jump back out there. Know that it's important. Know that just block out all the noise on the social media. Don't get wrapped up or angry. You know who you are. Go be who you are. Grow this business. Just use us as an encouragement and an example to try to grow your business, because I think that's where we're all headed. And we want to bring everybody up with us.
Yeah, man,
so,
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yep. Well, hey, thanks for being on. What's next week? What we got next week? All right, we don't have anything locked in stone next week. We're episode 47. We're going to take a break at episode 50. We're going to take a month off to kind of work on the aesthetics here. This is kind of plain Jane. We want to enhance this thing. We want to pop that bottle before the end of the year. We need 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So if you're watching this on Facebook, roll over to YouTube for us. Subscribe there. Comment. Ask some questions if you got any energy questions for Blake. Throw those in the comments. When you reactivate, jump in these comments if people go in there. And I appreciate you coming, man.
Hey, I appreciate you having us, man. That was great. Awesome.
All right. That's it. Episode 47. Thanks, guys.